Now it is finally time to talk about infantry boost cards. There are 11 of these in total, so I can't do a top 10 worst and top 10 best video on these boost cards, so instead I'm just going to combine all 11 into one video and rank them. So the way this works is that there are 8 available boost cards for each class, however the first one on each class is different, that's how we get 11 in total. So I'm going to start off with the worst one, which I believe is Marksman. Now with this star card, when you defeat an enemy with a headshot, your weapon heat will be reset and your weapon will produce less heat until you overheat next time. I think the description just says it all. There are so many better options of boost cards that you could use, which we're obviously going to talk about as the video goes on. So for this card to have any impact on you in game, you have to hit a headshot, and I don't always do that much. I might go one game where I don't even get any headshots, making this card useless. I would definitely say if you're someone who plays as the specialist a lot, this is a star card for you, but for someone who doesn't play as the specialist, it's not something I would use. Up next, we've got Stealth. This is the Specialist class exclusive star card. This is where you remain hidden from enemy scanners when firing your weapon and you deal increased melee damage. Because this is my personal list, I think this just goes to show that I'm not really a fan of the Specialist class having these two cards straight away on the list. First of all, melee damage does not matter with the Specialist in my opinion, it's more about range with your weapon. And I think when firing your weapon with the Specialist class, you might be sniping someone for example, they're going to figure out where you are, so there's no point being hidden on the scanners. Moving on to the Brawler star card, when you defeat an enemy in melee combat, your abilities refresh and you gain a small amount of health. Once again with this card, there are just so many better options available. I hardly ever find myself using melee in Battlefront 2, nowhere near as much as I did in Battlefront 1. Just like with the headshots earlier, I can sometimes go a whole game in Battlefront 2 without using melee whatsoever, which would deem this star card useless as well. Now we've got the Defender star card, which is the heavy exclusive card. This is where you gain a small amount of score for each hit that you take. Now I can understand why someone would like this star card, and combined with the Bounty Hunter card, I'm sure it's pretty good, but there are better options for earning score if that's how you want to play it in game. I will talk about those options later on, but the facts are with this card is that at epic level, you're only getting 9 score for every hit you take. You can die from a few hits in game, you're not really going to build up much score with this unless maybe you've got the Bounty Hunter card on. But now let's talk about Bodyguard. This is where you take reduced damage from explosions and toxins. I can see why this card would work, it's definitely something I'd be using on the second and third phase of Naboo and on the Death Star as well. The reason it's 7th on this list is because it's not going to work on all maps. Larger maps, for example, it's very easy to escape explosions and toxins, and it's really only on the smaller maps when this is going to be useful. Let's move on to the next card called Expert Weapons Handling. This is where your weapon cooling success states are longer. We're pretty much at the point on the list where I like all the star cards I'm about to talk about now quite a bit. This one is pretty simple though. If you cool your weapon at the right point, you're going to be able to shoot longer. If you can shoot longer, you've got a better chance of killing your enemies. On to the next card, which is Assault Training, the Assault exclusive star card on this list. This is where you gain a small amount of health for each defeated enemy. Most of the time when you kill an enemy, unless you sneak up behind them, you've basically took a lot of damage. Sometimes you can be pretty much dead, so it's always good to gain back any health you can. The fact that you can gain 40 health if you have this card upgraded to Epic for killing someone is just incredible. Imagine if you get a double kill, that's 80 health you've got back. At the number 4 spot though, we've got Resourceful, where all of your abilities have shorter recharge times. Abilities were such a big part of Battlefront 1 and in my opinion an even bigger part of Battlefront 2, so using them as much as possible is a really good thing to have. Having this card at epic level makes the recharge speed increase 28%. So regardless of what I've said in my videos, whatever ability cards you personally enjoy using, with Resourceful you can use them 28% more frequently. And Survivalist is the next card on the list where your health regeneration delay is shorter than normal. And the regen delay reduction is 40% with this star card at epic level. It is always important to go into battle with the best health possible, preferably max health, so this just helps you get to max health a lot quicker. The more times you go into battle with the best health possible means that you're probably going to come out on top most of the time. You're not going to do very well if you go into a battle with hardly any health. Just missing out on today's number 1 spot, we've got Officer's Presence, which is the officer exclusive star card on this list. This reduces the delay before nearby allies' health regeneration begins. So what this basically does is when you've got this card equipped, you can stand next to someone who maybe is low on health, and this will regen their health up much quicker. But why is this card so good? Well, you don't even have to do anything in battle most of the time. You can just stand there, not get any kills whatsoever, not even play the objective, and your battle points are going to keep going up. This is because just standing next to other teammates who are in battle and who are getting injured constantly, it's regenerating their health and it's getting you more and more battle points. But this star card works very well with today's number 1 spot, which is the Bounty Hunter star card, where you gain battle points at an increased rate. Officer's Presence and Bounty Hunter together is one of the best combinations in the entire game. Think of all the battle points you get for using Officer's Presence, and then combine that with the battle points increase, which at epic level with Bounty Hunter is 20%. Your battle points are going to be stacking up more and more without doing anything in game, so think of that combined with all the kills you're probably going to get as well. Bounty Hunter on its own though is fantastic for any class where in the other 3 classes you can't use the Officer's Presence. When you're playing a game of Battlefront, it's all about getting those battle points for those heroes, reinforcements, vehicles, whatever you want to play as, and Bounty Hunter lets you get them a lot quicker. But that is about it for this video, everyone. Let me know, did you agree or disagree with how I ranked the 11 Infantry Boost star cards? I really hope you enjoyed, and I will see you all next time.